is often seen as a continent of massive displacement and migration caused by poverty, violence, and conflicts, influenced by media images of massive refugee flows and boat migration. This stereotype portrays Africa as a continent on the move, owing to poverty, starvation, and environmental degradation. The stereotypes have resulted in questions such as, how is the war in your country going? Are your parents safe? And many related questions are familiar to African immigrants across the globe. This project, The Untold, has been initiated to magnify the untold stories of African immigrants. The project offers African immigrants the opportunity to share their unique stories, including the drivers of their migration. Well, my name is Efia Frempoma Amwaten, and I'm going to be your companion as you share your unique story. Meet Mrs. Grace Ohinemenu. Grace shares her life-changing story as a student migrant living in the UK.
My name is Mrs. Grace Ohinemenu, currently resident in the UK, Birmingham to be precise. I left Ghana to the UK to pursue my master's program. And before leaving Ghana, I had people share their life experiences with me about career aspirations in the UK and abroad in general. They were with the perception that it is not easy to settle abroad to achieve one's career. They were with the thought that I would have to do casual jobs to survive, and there was no way I could have achieved my career aspiration of building a career in accounting and finance and business development. However, I've had a different experience which is possible for every migrant. During my master's program, I seized the opportunity to apply for jobs with certain companies like Hilton Hotel. I was fortunate to have the opportunity as a night auditor with this company. It was very worth it. I've been able to acquire certain skills and experiences that has impacted on my career. Currently, I've been able to secure a job as a business operations manager. And it has taken determination, grace, and the grace of God, of course, to come this far and achieve all this. I'd like to say this to encourage everyone or all migrants that it is very possible to achieve one's career aspirations abroad. All one has to do is to be very focused and persevere and be determined to achieve it.
Being an African migrant, I always look forward to catching up with other African migrants. And over the years, I have paid attention to the inspiring and intriguing stories of these fellow migrants. So I said to myself, why don't I create a space where these beautiful migrants will share their beautiful, unique stories? Who knows, it will inspire and build someone and help someone in his or her journey as a migrant. So, yeah, the idea of Untold was born. Yeah. Meet Shadrach Keddy. Shadrach is a Ghanaian migrant living in Canberra, Australia with his young, beautiful family. Shadrach works as a mental health practitioner in Canberra. In his story today, Shadrach shares with us his knowledge on mental health and what has changed for him.
Hello, my name is Shadrach Keddy. I've been in Australia for some time now. I primarily came to Australia to further my studies. I had my initial training or initial education back in Ghana. And so after working briefly as a teacher for 2 years, I got the opportunity to come to Australia to further my studies. And I have since been in Australia. I'm currently based in the capital of Australia, which is Canberra. A lot of people do not know about this. They assume Sydney to be the capital of Australia, but that is wrong. Canberra is the capital of Australia.
Well, I chose the niche African migrant because I'm African myself, and I believe that will be more easier for me to work with. Because I do work as a mental health clinician, and that's my profession, and I work 8 to 5. And if I want to create this space, it should be a space where I'll be able to go with the flow and be very creative. So I chose African migrant. It could be any, but this is the niche that I chose because I believe I'm able to work well with this area.
Prior to coming to Australia, my self-concept regarding mental health was very minimal. I had very little knowledge about it, though I had seen people with mental health concerns. But in terms of my understanding, deeper understanding regarding what had happened or what might have transpired to make such people who have got mental health was very little. And so fast forward to today and having the opportunity to get trainings per my education, I've had a very deep understanding regarding mental health, and I'm happy that platforms like this, is giving us opportunity to share what we have learned, our experiences for others to get to learn and appreciate and understand, why it's very important for us to ensure that we have, a very good mental health.
Well, looking forward to 10 episodes, and that will depend on the response that we do get. If other people come on board and want to share their stories, I think it will be a beginning of something beautiful, and I look forward to engage appropriately. Yeah, the program is proudly sponsored by Country Girl City Dream. Country Girl City Dream is an online department shop, and I will say that Country Girl City Dream is a proud sponsor for this beautiful dream.
In terms of the challenges, it's enormous. Many a times people think that, traveling overseas is all rosy. Some people have got the notion that, everything is just on a silver platter. And so it's kind of easy for you to get what you want. But that is not what pertains overseas. It's actually about working hard. So for me, there's a lot that has gone on in terms of the ups and downs that I have encountered when I arrived here in Australia. So as a new person, obviously the weather condition was one thing that I found it very challenging in the beginning. So I came during winter around July, and so it was in winter, and imagine coming from a tropical country or the tropics where you've got only two weather conditions, and then just bumping or coming straight into winter, you could understand what I mean by the challenge I had to go through. I felt very cold. It was my first time I was experiencing winter. Back home in Ghana, I had heard about winter and snow, from people who by then used to reside overseas. But for me, it was my first time experiencing winter, and I really went through tough time. But over the years, I have become used to it, and I'm very much okay with that. The other thing too that I will talk about is language barrier or language barriers. For my part, because Ghana is an English-speaking country, I did not find communication as a challenge. I was very okay to communicate, fluently in English. And so when it comes to the language barriers, I would say it wasn't much of a hassle, or it wasn't much of a challenge for me. But I had friends who came from different backgrounds, coming from Asia and Eastern Europe countries, and they had very little understanding of the English language. So for them, it was a challenge. The other challenge to, you experience, once you come overseas, either as an international student or as a migrant, is work. And it got to do with the fact that we have not had any work experience in our new country, and so it becomes very tough for you to even get opportunity to work. So for me, I was lucky to get a job as a car detailer, or what we call someone who, cleans car. And this is a company that was owned by a Ghanaian. And so that was my very first job that I got. And I needed to start from somewhere because I had just moved into this country and had no work experience here. And so me getting the opportunity to work in the car industry as a car detailer was the beginning of me getting to know, how things are done here in Australia. I work in the car industry as a car detailer, as in washing the car, for a few months, and then I also got another job as a kitchen hand. I actually went to this shop. It's called Alibaba, and I spoke with the person who was serving clients, and I said, "Hey, I'm looking for a job." So the person told me, "Yeah, you can come with your resume." So I went back, designed my resume, and then I took it to them, and they looked through it, and then they gave me the opportunity. So that was how I was able to get something to do. So along the line, I gradually began to know, certain things regarding how to go about, searching for a job and applying for a job, and then eventually getting the job. So I got series of job opportunities. Along the line, I got a cleaning job. I also got a job with one of our supermarket chain, their fuel station, business. I work over there as a customer representative, as in, selling goods and services to clients that comes in to buy fuel or petrol or diesel, and then they come into the shop, and then I will process, the payment. So I also, along the line, did security. I work in security for some time, and mind you, I was doing all of this whilst I was schooling, and so there was an added pressure on me to be able to work at the same time, school, and be able to save money for my tuition fee. So it was a big challenge, and I came earlier, and after a year and a half, my wife and my first son joined me. So when they came, gradually along the line, things started easing up. But so far so good. All the work experiences and the learnings that I got from it, that is what has made me to be who I am as of now. Some of the things along the line that I needed to unlearn was the fact that I always needed to have that positive mindset. I needed to see things from different perspectives. Back home in Ghana, I guess for majority of Ghanaians, we see things or focus our energies when there's an issue or when there's a concern on one area without looking at other aspects or other aspects of the thing that is happening for us to get a better understanding. Well, there's a lot that I have learned over the years, and I think the very first one I will talk about is for you to have a plan and a purpose. If you are wanting to migrate from Ghana or Africa to overseas, I think it's foremost for you to have a plan and a purpose. Once you have a plan, then you'll be able to go according to the plan. And even if you're going according to the plan and certain things changes, you're able to reflect on it and make amends and continue. You should also have a purpose. What is your main, what's your primary goal or aim of wanting to migrate or travel overseas? For me, I primarily came over, as I've said in my previous scenes, that I came to further my studies. But when I got here and I observed the opportunities that abound here, I had a rethink. And the rethink was about me focusing on my studies and following all the rules and regulation as pertain to an international student visa holder. I needed to do all of that whilst having the plan of wanting to remain here after my studies. And that is what I did. Though I went through the long pathway, but in the end, it was worth it. If I say the long pathway, what I mean is I did my first degree, and then that particular course I did, which is international development, wouldn't have given me the pathway to allow me to apply for my residency. And so that is the main reason why I needed to go back again to uni to do social work. And it's through social work that I was eventually able to use to, apply for my residency and have since remained in this country. So, as I've said, having a plan and a purpose is very paramount. And also, there's a need for you to know that you are coming into a new territory or a new country or a new environment. And so things wouldn't be as it used to be in your original home. And so it's very important, it's very necessary that we try to adjust. Adjustment takes time. It's not a 1 day or a 2 day affair. It's a gradual process. And so once you come in, it's very important for you to start learning the environment in which you find yourself, because of the proliferation of internet. There's a lot one can learn about a new country by going to the internet. You could learn a lot. If you happen to get some few friends, you can start having conversation around how things are done, and that will allow you to be able to gradually settle and adjust into your new environment or into your new country or new territory. And once you are able to adjust, then you'll be able to move ahead and do the things that you have planned and purpose for yourself. So it's very important that you learn about your new environment and you adjust accordingly. The other learning I will say I have gotten from the period I've been here is the fact that family is very paramount. We always have to connect with family. Presently, I'm here with my wife and 2 sons. The rest of my family are back home in Ghana. I do communicate with them regularly, specifically my mom. I miss her so very much. I'm looking forward to visiting when the opportunity arises. I do connect with family, and it's very important. It keeps me going. I know that I've got people back home who are supporting me, who are praying for me. And just a quick one, I want to chip in this. When I talk about my challenges initially, around the fact that I was schooling and I needed to work and save money to pay my tuition fee, I must say that my mom has been very supportive. She's a pensioner. And prior to my wife and my first son arriving, it got to a period where I needed funding to be able to add up to what I had saved here to pay my tuition fee. And so my wife, together with my mom, they had to organize themselves, get some funding from Ghana, and they sent it over to me. And it's something that I really appreciate very much till today, because it's also part of what has made me who I am. And because, I had the support from my mom and from my wife, I have also made that conscious or intentional effort to be able to, support my family back home, and then other friends back home. So it's very important that we connect with families, because families will always be there for us. The other thing I also want to talk about in terms of my learnings is to be focused. One needs to focus in life. Yes, residing overseas, there's a lot that goes on. You see a lot of things, and if you're not very careful, you'll be overtaken by events. And so going back, having your plan and having that purpose, you need to focus, because the moment you get distracted and you're unable to focus on what you want to achieve, there's going to be serious consequences. And I have observed, and I have heard, and I have seen people who had opportunity to come into this country, but for lack of having that focusedness, they ended up where they shouldn't have been. And so it's very, very, very important for you to focus on your goal. If your goal is to, for example, complete your studies, get a job offer, and then work towards your residency, then it's very important, you focus on that goal, and, seek for support as to how to go about it. And there are a lot of, resources, like I said, on the internet, and with other people who have gone through similar situation, who are willing and able to, provide, you as a reference or a source of information or knowledge to help you. So this is basically some of the things that I have learned over the years that I've been in this country. And I will say this country also has been I have enjoyed this country, and it's provided me with a lot of opportunities, and I am very grateful for all those opportunities. And as I've said, earlier, I look forward to, impacting my community in a very positive way, and also sharing, the knowledge and the skills and the experiences that I have acquired to others, so that it can, build all of us together, and then we can continue to move on and thrive in our communities and in this life. Once again, I'm very grateful to Afia for this opportunity to participate in this program, and I look forward to other programs that is in line. Is in line. Thank you.
Here we are with the Untold. This is just the beginning.
Project is proudly sponsored by Country Girl City Dream, an online department shop for the contemporary.